Hi, so in this presentation I'm going to be examining the design, development and iterative refinement for my custom Team Fortress 2 King of the Hill map, Koth Market. This project was undertaken with the goal of creating a balanced, readable, engaging multiplayer environment that adheres to the established principles of Team Fortress 2 level design, while introducing my own creative flair to it. Over the next several minutes, I'll outline the conceptual planning, core layout decisions, class balance strategies, visual design choices, the feedback-driven improvements made during my playtesting. My intention is to provide a detailed explanation of the thought processes and practical considerations required to design an effective multiplayer level. Before creating the physical layout on the map, I established a set of design goals based on the common characteristics of Koth maps such as viaduct, sawmill, and nucleus. These goals include maintaining a fast gameplay flow, minimizing downtime between engagements, and ensuring clear player decision making. Another early focus was readability. TF2's visual language emphasizes clarity so player can immediately identify routes, hazards, and important spaces during combat. I incorporated into this my plan by prioritizing simple geometry, clear silhouettes, and distinct spatial themes. Additionally, I aimed to create a map that is enjoyable for both casual and competitive players. This meant avoiding the overly complex layouts, but still offering meaningful strategic depth. The foundational structure of the map rolls around a single control point, located in the center. The following of the traditional Koth format. While this objective type is simple, achieving the balance and flow requires careful spatial arrangement. I positioned the central area as the focal point using layered verticality to create an interesting combat dynamics, multiple player heights, ledges, ramps, and raised platforms all over the place. For movement-based classes, while also creating varied sightlines for areas of engagement. The layout was intentionally designed to be intuitive. New players can easily navigate from spawn to the point without confusion. Experienced players can discover more advanced routes that allow creative approaches to combat. The spawns rooms for the red and blue teams are nearly symmetrical, ensuring neither side has a strategic advantage in travel distance or access to strategic positions. Although symmetry provides fairness, I then implemented small stylistic variations to avoid repetition. From each spawn, players have multiple pathways to the central point. The main primary point leads directly to the objective and acts as the main path for early engagements. Secondary flank route allows for tactical repositioning and enabling players to surprise opponents or bypass choke points. The high ground paths support mobility-based classes, particularly Soldier or Demoman, enabling the use of rocket jumps and sticky jumps for advanced movement. The low ground corridors support stealth-based characters such as Spy, offering opportunities for infiltration and escape. The multipath approach ensures flexibility, strategic choice, allowing all classes to fulfill their unique roles effectively. Because the control point is the central focus of the Koth match, and its design plays a crucial role in the flow of the gameplay, the point is located in moderately open space surrounded by a network of core objectives. The distribution of the cover serves the main purpose. It breaks long sight lines to prevent sniper dominance, allows teams to regroup and push the point without being exposed the entire time. It provides a natural movement options that allow players to reposition during combat. High ground areas around the point offer positional advantages, but these positions remain valuable from multiplayer agents to prevent any team from creating impenetrable hold. Additionally, I integrate enclosed corners and concealed areas that allow spies, pyros, and other ambush-focused classes to operate effectively. My intention was to create a point that encourages consistent team fights without becoming overly chaotic or unbalanced. A significant challenge in designing a team TF2 map lies in accommodating to the diverse abilities of the 9 classes to ensure balanced gameplay. I considered how each class would interact with the map's geometry. Soldier and Demoman, the map includes ramps and angled surfaces and vertical spaces that support explosive mobility. For the Scout, fast movement is supported through clear lateral routes and consistent cover. The Engineer, there's areas for suitable defensive structures such as dispensers or sentries. as present but intentionally limited to prevent stagnation. Sniper sightlines exist but are deliberately kept short to avoid overpowering the class. Spy, mobile flanking routes, and blind spots allow for infiltration and escape. Heavy and pyro, close range combat zones near the point to support these classes' strengths. By designing the environments around class diversity, the map aims to provide balanced opportunities without allowing specific playstyle to dominate within my map. For the map's visual theme, I chose kind of a dark, dreary marketplace, kind of similar to somewhere where I grew up. This aesthetic aligns with TF's stylized world because you have those days in Australia. It's meant to be kind of like a grungy area where it's industry versus a more natural approach. This will allow for consistency of the game's art direction, while also being important to maintain immersion and ensure the map feels like a natural extension of the existing universe. That's really important when designing a Team Fortress 2 map. Some of the key visual considerations include color coding to distinguish team territories and guide navigation, so blue buildings, red buildings, and white buildings. Clear silhouette for major structures to provide player orientation. Intentional lighting to maintain visibility while preserving the atmosphere. Moderate environmental details avoiding clutter to prevent distraction during gameplay. These visual choices were not only made for aesthetics but also to support the gameplay clarity, which is an essential component of TF2's level design philosophy. Playtesting was a crucial part of the development process. Observing how players interacted with the environment provided valuable insights that were not always apparent during development. Several issues were identified during the playtest. Players often accessed unintended high ground locations using advanced movement, so they could get on each other's bases and set engineer turrets up, which was not fun. Certain flank routes were either too narrow or too concealed, limiting their usefulness and requiring revisions. Some areas of geometry got players to get stuck or snag on, highlighting the importance of collision refinement. Spawn time adjustments were necessary to ensure both teams could contest the point fairly during overtime scenarios. These observations reinforced the importance of iterative design, and each round of testing contributed to improving clarity, balance, and gameplay flow. Throughout development, several challenges emerged. One challenge was balancing open spaces with enclosed areas. Too much openness would favour snipers, while too many enclosed spaces would undermine the explosive mobility and long-range combat. The solution involved creating a hybrid environment where we've got a lot of small inside spaces mixed with a lot of long-range areas. Another challenge involved maintaining pacing. Co-op maps must sustain rapid, consistent interactions. To address this, the spawn to mid travel times were measured and adjusted to fall within an optimal range. Basically, I timed myself to see and compare it to the other maps to see if I was within a good pace. So, in conclusion, development of this King of Hill map involved a comprehensive exploration of multiplayer level design, incorporating spatial planning, pathway structure, and class balance considerations, visual clarity, and iterative improvement based on player feedback. The final result is a functional, balanced, and coherent map that aligns with Team Fortress 2's established design principles, while reflecting on my own creative decision making. Although I could have gone a little bit more in terms of more lighting, particle effects, and meshing, something I do regret and wish I did. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm probably going to continue to edit this map after the assignment, since I did find it really enjoyable to make this competitive multiplayer map for Team Fortress 2.